God, look at him springing up as well. It's just insane. He's something that was so amazing. Just, you know, I wish I could have seen him live. So for the past month and a bit, I have found my obsession again for Michael Jackson. I am throwing it back to, I feel like I am 14 again, when I full on was in my Michael Jackson era and just listening and watching everything. So, and I knew I wanted to go watch something because obviously the movie has come out. If you haven't seen the movie, go and see it or not. It's completely up to you. I really, really enjoyed it. I have then since watched other documentaries and documentaries that I hadn't even heard of before, and it woke up something else. You know, it just allowed me to view other views, let's say. Do your own research is all I'm going to say, and, you know, allow yourself to have opinions through your own research rather than what maybe other people have told you. But today we are going to check out some music. I'm really excited. The likelihood of me seeing these live performances are high. However, I have not yet seen this in my now obsession again. So I might have seen this back when I was like 12 or 13, I don't know, however old I was. But today I will be checking out Billie Jean, so Michael Jackson, Billie Jean live 1983 performance. You have clicked on a reaction and an analysis video, so please, if you just want a reaction or want the full original video, I've left the link to the original video in the description below. But today I will be breaking down his vocals and just going through it and having a good time. We'll see what happens. Let's go. Oh my God! Oh, he's so good. Okay, the music, what, you instantly know what song's going to come up, I feel like, with every single one of, you know, being able to pick out what the song is just from the bass riff, the guitar, you know, a single chord is just so awesome. We want that. We want to feel that connection straight away. And this is one of those songs that you hear the opening, dum, 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 dum. You hear that and you're like, cool, here we go. I'm in it. We could talk about his dancing as well here because we're going to break it down. I love the way that he holds out his leg. Like, he doesn't kick it right back. Like, everything is so smooth, so purposeful. Everything has a thought behind it. It's not just like, let's go through it. Yes, he might be like improvising. Is this a set piece? And then it became like the set choreography. Or is this set, this is what he wanted to do? It could go either way because he's just so connected to his body and what he wants. Vocally, he does this as well. I love how he has that classic breath escape in between the words, the phrases that he's singing. He has that escape of the breath, which is evident, and he uses it through his singing on the words as well. But what he does really well, and it's a great display of his vocal control, is that as soon as he does that, he does show this full vocal fold closure. We're getting some really lovely full sounds. The switch is so fast between like breathy and then the clear. It's just insane. I love it. How did... Oh, this hat. Smooth. Like, it just allows him to have, I am the one. It allows him, on that descent, it allows him to have very clear intervals as he's, you know, he's dancing. It has to be really, really fit. His body needs to be able to handle that breath control. So when he's singing, just having that great full vocal fold closure is going to get that stamp ahead so that when he's dancing, he's not worried about, am I going to run out of breath? No, because he's got great full vocal fold closure. Something else that I noticed there as well, actually, there's a really fast vibrato on certain words, like a move. He goes straight on that vibrato. This is Also a really lovely clear display of a relaxed vocal fold connection. So everything is right where it needs to be, allowing it to spin. It doesn't feel forced, it just feels like an extension of what's happening. And I think they're actually, who would dance in the floor? That's a backing singer singing that high. Who would dance? He's staying the octave below, just connected to his speaking voice on that section. Yeah. So like those moments that at the end, actually, there's not a lot of volume. Mic is quite close to his mouth, so we're able to hear all those higher notes as well. That he does like this kind of entrance into the second line. There's a higher thin fold note, and then again he grasps hold of the full vocal fold closure, the thickness again. When we are singing higher and going for a higher note, our vocal folds are thin. So what he is doing is going from a thin fold straight away, allowing the vocal folds to come back to this thick fold and have that connection. This can only happen by us being light on our vocal folds and not putting any heaviness, any sort of like restriction there, so that it feels like it's tight. It feels like it can't have that smoothness to go back to that state. So even though note-wise these aren't incredibly, like range-wise, it's not like a mega high note, mega low note, but it's the agility to go back, to snap back from that thin fold to the thick fold really, really quickly. That's super impressive, all whilst still dancing. I love those cries there, actually. God, look at him springing up as well. It's just insane. He's something that was so amazing. Just, you know, I wish I could have seen him live. Alas, I have YouTube. But just the direction, the intention behind his eyes when he's singing as well. Everything was so connected. Nothing was, even though it's a wonderful show and people are enjoying it, everything is so connected personally to him. Like, it just feels like it's an extension of where he wants to go. I just love it, and he just continues to move. This section, there's a lovely bit of grit in his vocals as well. This happens when it can happen from the false vocal folds, so just above the true vocal folds where we're speaking. There's another set of vocal folds called the false vocal folds. They don't make contact unless this kind of quality wants to happen, or we're kind of squeezing that sort of feel in our voice. That's when they make a little bit of contact, and there's a bit of that roughness, that edge. To allow us to get to that point, we have to commit to that quality. It's almost like an emotional response, you know, trying to get someone's attention. It's that sort of feel. We have to allow our body to get there. It's not painful. If it was, our true vocal folds will be making contact, and then we'd feel a bit hoarse after we would talk. But if we allow the false vocal folds to do that, then we're good. Also here, there's a lovely vowel modification on the people always talk p. Is really just dropping that rather than p and just keeping it people always quite squeezed, just allowing it to be lovely and relaxed. Yeah, and the other goes away from the mic. And notice that as well, that like this is all done in a really lovely head dominant mixed quality. When we are going through that first passage, so if you've ever experienced a bit of a break in your voice, that kind of transition where it wants to get really thin or you feel like you're reaching, that's where your first passage lies. He is beautifully going from high to low, going right through that first passage and not allowing us to hear that break. And he's doing that by getting a really lovely thin head dominant mix quality up at the top. So there's more percentage wise. When I talk about the mix, it doesn't have to be 50-50. So percentage wise, we're a lot lighter than what we are thicker. We still have some of this that when we transition down, it's not like a sudden attack back down to our speaking voice, our chest voice. It's just a smooth transition. I love it because it's just so light and free and open. There's lots of twang as well. And he doesn't land heavy there as well. Vowel-wise as well, everything's relaxed coming back down. Nothing is pinched, nothing is squeezed. And yeah, like I said there, when we return back to our chest voice, it's not a thick, it's not a heavy, full sound. It's actually quite breathy there when he comes back. So it's from that light quality to thick quality, sound-wise, dynamic-wise, it's very similar. So it makes that transition a lot smoother as well. I love those guitar strums with that one extra. Like to allow your voice to go, like to hit those without thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to crack or anything. We need to make sure up there that the thin folds are also have got lovely full vocal fold closure. Otherwise, it's going to just escape or we might not hear it. It's not going to have that same effect that he does. And again, I've already talked about the agility going from the thinness to the thickness really, really quick. Everything is right where it needs to be. Just experiment with your voice. Get familiar with what our head voice, thick chest voice feels like, so we can play around with so many more like different shades. The guy behind. Oh, so did we have like an echo? There's like tracks with, because I can't see any backing singers there, but it sounds like it's tracked from Michael Jackson's BVs of the track, and then he's singing over the top, because there we had the first one, then the interjection with the second one, live vocals. Really, really fun. Again, it's just so impressive. The stamina. I think I read somewhere as well that he, like, not shockingly, but lost weight whilst doing like live performances because he's moving around so much. He's sweating so much, and it's you know, that happens, but he's just so incredible to watch, like that dedication, just pairing the two together. I love it. Hey, can you hear that vibrato as well? This is the first time I think we've had this note, because he normally drops down there. There's I mentioned just earlier, there's a lovely bit of twang in his voice. When I talk about twang, because we can have accent twang, but I'm talking specifically about the narrowing of the aryepiglottis sphincter, or AES for short, which again lies above the vocal folds. It is an area that when we make a little bit narrower, it's going to have this brighter, more uglier quality. Obviously, we don't need to do it to the extreme, but he's got a little bit of that. And it's a great tool, because rather than lifting up with our thicker folds and really reaching up to try and create this loud sound, we can rely on that space, getting it a little bit narrower, so it has that direct feel, it has that bright feel, and it can get louder without reaching up with the thicker folds. It's such a great tool, and you can hear it. You can hear this brightness in his quality. This brightness also is, you know, where he's allowing. I don't think he brings up the larynx. I think it's just the natural setting of his larynx is quite mid. You know, he had the unique, iconic, soft-spoken voice, and that was also a great way to not constantly have the vocal folds, you know, being quite hard and attacked. Having that soft-spoken, he's not sending a lot of breath, it's just a lot kinder to the vocal folds. So he's preserving, you know, the feel of the vocal folds, which makes sense here that instead of reaching up, we're going to use twang, which is just nice to know that that was a quality that he kind of lived in his general speaking voice, was a lot softer, but then now when we're singing, we're really relying on that twang to get that projection across. Here, like I said before, that commit with a grit, we're attacking the words much more, so we are allowing that content to come together. It's just beautiful just hearing the different arrays of timbres through this. I love those harmonies. Those harmonies there as well, with those lighter, they have much more of a breathy quality compared to the lovely, clear vocal fold full vocal fold closure that we're getting from the lead vocal here from Michael Jackson. But I love how we get those strings right after the da-da-da-da-da. It really matches what's happening BV-wise. It's really lovely, soft, light, energetic. I love the stabbiness of that. And then actually here that this is really quite fast, and we have to get, the tongues are huge, multiple muscles, just getting that working as well. But this now suits and mimics the da-da-da-da-da that we're going to hear in this section. So I love how vocally is also, and we've seen this if you've recording or previous earlier stuff from Michael Jackson, even later, he likes to mimic the percussion a lot. So I think there's a lot of connections between maybe the backing vocals or just his ad-libs to what's happening musically in the instrumentation. It's beautiful. I love the brass as well. So there's a lot of twang there. Yeah, so even though it's that lighter quality that I've mentioned before, there is still twang to keep it bright and keep that nice and connected. All those A vowels as they're falling down, as it's just keeping that same feeling throughout the full phrase. When you see that in the movie, it's so good as well. Jafar Jackson did such a fab job. But look at him. It's just so amazing. Imagine seeing an artist do, like, when people say, oh, there's just something so special, like, from the get-go. Like, of course there was, because people didn't see anything like this. And it's suddenly like, what is going on? What am I witnessing? Of course, you're going to scream. Like, look at him. Classic Moonwalk. And then straight away on the vocals. Oh, there, actually. So we get na-na-na, which is that harsh, it's got a little bit of that distortion in there. Woo! When he does these ad-lib woos up there, it's a completely different quality. So it's almost like we're allowing the vocal folds to have a little bit of a breather, a little bit more of a relaxed break. Not that the other ones weren't relaxed, but it's just alternating allows it to keep alternating the qualities allows us to keep our vocal folds nice and stretched and healthy in all areas of our voice. So I love how we're swapping and changing throughout this. It's not always the same quality that we're after. It's just a nice, like, breather moment. I love that note just before he starts the words. Wait, as he did the toe there, did the mic come down as he was on it? Oh my God, like he's so in tune with everything. I've watched so many interviews, and every time I'm scrolling on Instagram and social media, I'm seeing so many different posts. But every musician has said that, you know, he might be somewhere over there, but he's noticing that a guitarist kind of maybe went on a different sort of like missed a note here or something, and he'll remember it. He's so in tune with everything. Or he was so in tune with everything. It's just incredible. Like even there, like even though there's that iconic one that he, I think, was trying to get the mic off and then it didn't come off in time, so he spins the whole mic stand around. Everything is like, he is improvising on the spot in the sense of if it doesn't go the right way, it's not, show's over, let's just make it part of the show. So I wonder there if that was one of the moments, I don't know, like, you know, because did he mean for the mic stand to go down? It obviously looked like he did. Everything moved really smoothly. There's also a lot of overlapping here happening with the stems that we're hearing, the tracks that we're hearing from Michael Jackson in the what we're hearing, and then him live. So it's really interesting to watch. But yeah, there's a lot going on in this section. I like echo there as well, I think. Ugh. Babe, notice how bright that was on the babe. Like as soon as we spread the mouth a little bit, he was doing it earlier as well. There was a bit of a pout and it creates a bit more of a darker quality. But as soon as we spread, that also helps with the brightness. Hey, that twang there. Wow. Whew, that cheer, just being in that room, that's insane. Well, I'm happy that I've brought some Michael Jackson to the channel and has broke down an iconic song live performance with some fab movements, obviously. Yeah, let me know if you want me to check out some more live performances, preferably live performances, just because I might have missed some of those. But yeah, let me know in the comments. And if you find yourself on Spotify or wherever you listen to music, checking out some more Michael Jackson songs, please go and check out my own music. I released my debut album last year called Echo. There will be more music to come, but go and listen to that. You can find a link in the description below as well, but add your favorites to your playlists. Hit that subscribe button and the bell button and the thumbs up button, and go and check me out over on Patreon because there's a lot of fun going on over there. But have yourself a wonderful day and I'll see you very soon. Bye.